Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Visionary Leaders Collective podcast. My name is Aisha Harley, and I'm a founding member. We gather every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for insightful discussions on everything wellness and doTERRA essential oils. If you miss an episode, you can catch us on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify. You can stay updated at hellovisionary.life. Please subscribe to our newsletters and text reminders, and we would be so grateful if you would take the time to leave us a 5-star review. Today, we are featuring Dr. Josie Schmidt. She will be guiding us through a self-care session and teaching us how easy an at-home oil treatment can be. So gather your oils, get cozy, and get ready to pamper yourself. Dr. Josie Schmidt ND is a naturopathic physician, a doTERRA Blue Diamond, and Aromatouch instructor, and she specializes in herbal medicine, homeopathy, nutrition, and detoxification, advocating for daily wellness through certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. Okay, Dr. Josie, we are ready for a
Oh,
nourishing call today. I'm going to pass it on over to you.
thank you, Aisha. So, everyone, hi. We had a little kerfuffle in the beginning, and I already went and explained some of the oils that we're going to be using today. So I'm going to do a quick review of that for everyone on the recording. And we have 3 sets of starter oil kits that we're recommending for at-home use to be working with these sequences and this self-care. And what I really wanted everyone to realize is we're going to be going through it today and doing our own self-care and how to apply and work with these on ourselves, but then we can be using it in our whole families. So now we can work on our sister, or we can work on our partner or our parent, and we can teach them to do it back to us. So that's what's so wonderful about this is we're bringing self-care into the whole family. There are 3. Once you learn these, there are sequences called Symphony of the Cells where you can purchase the booklet and learn different sequences. So what these are about anywhere between 5 to 7 to 9 oils or oil blends applied in different areas of the body in a sequence. That's basically what we're talking about. And we're letting the oils do the work of heavy massage, because at the end of the applying, what you get to see and realize today is that you feel very similar in your body the way you feel after you've had an hour and a half massage. The oils really do so much work with all of our tissues, our muscles, our tendons, and our energetic bodies, our mood, helping us to shift in so many ways. And so some people are more familiar. This call is for everybody. Some people haven't ever done applying a sequence on their bodies and working with a lot of topical. So whether you are more familiar and you kind of have your sequence of the oils that you know you want to work with today, for people who are more new, we are recommending either working with the beginning healthy start kit, which is that kind of beginning kit of bringing oils into your home. It used to be called also the Family Essentials Kit. That's what I have here. And the next one is there is the formal Aromatouch training and Aromatouch kit that doTERRA, I am a trainer. I trained for years, different groups of people with the Aromatouch training. It's fantastic. And I'll talk a little bit about the differences between that and a Symphony of the Cells and doing a self treatment. But that sequence of oils in the Aromatouch kit could be your second choice if you happen to have those. Or we're also saying what is really fun to try is the actual emotional aromatherapy kit, which comes in 5 ml bottles, or there is roller bottles. This you want to be comfortable sharing, knowing that it's it's gonna be touching your foot and then your back and your different parts of your body. And if you're comfortable just using it on yourself or members in your family, you just kind of can make that decision yourself. But with the drops, we're just going to be putting them on our hands. And so they stay very safe, sterile. What's the word? We don't have those worries. I personally don't worry about those things with the essential oils because they are so very antimicrobial. It's just not a worry that I have. But if you want to be kind of technical along OSHA lines, there you go. Before we start, I'm just showing you kind of the stuff that you can dive deeper in, and you might want to along the way get a little bit of extra things. And what that might be would be going to Aisha will put in the chat, and we'll also in the newsletter send out all this kind of these links and information. There is Boyd Truman, who is the person who came up with the Symphony of the Cells. He has a site that's True Wellness with a TRU, no E, wellness.com. And that's where he sells his these are the booklets that have all these different sequences that are called symphonies. And they're really wonderful to dive into. And we'll have time. And as we're applying the oils, I know there's lots of people, Dr. Mika, Asha, there's lots of lovers of Symphony of the Cells on here that I'm hoping will give some of their wisdoms and tell us more about, the Symphony of the Cells. But in a nutshell, the biggest difference between doing a Symphony of the Cells versus the Aromatouch technique is the Aromatouch technique is a full technique of hand applications, very specifically learned and done with this specific sequence of oils. And it takes about 45 minutes, and it is more intensive and specific. And so that's really when you're doing the Aromatouch, you're not like, well, I think I'll swap this oil in for that one. No, that's not suggested. This is very kind of proven and shown that this sequence has a lot of magic. And there's a lot of magic in the slow, gentle application of your hands that we would call more of a lymphatic, gentle 5 grams of pressure touch. It's not a deep massage touch. So there's a lot of relaxation of the whole sympathetic nervous system that happens with that whole treatment. The Symphony of the Cells was designed more, they started with, I think, 12 and then went to 18 different sequences. And now they're up to like 30 or more different sequences, depending on, so come up with different sets of oils in a sequence, depending on what your condition or issue is do you want help with sleep? Do you want help with your cardiovascular system? Do you want help with digestion? Right? You start to see the picture, they're different sequences. And it's really letting the oils do the touch and not putting the emphasis on the hand movements and how you apply it. There's always, we like to say better, what is it? Good, better, best. And you know what good is? Getting the oils on the body. And that's Dr. Mika's in her head. That's what we found. That's the most important thing. Better is learning a little bit of flowy hand techniques and kind of like dropping from the sacrum towards the spine with your oils, a couple little extras. Best is if you have like, massage training and you're really good with your hands and you can also really do the thing. But what we find is in our daily life with our families, what is most effective is to just be able to get a sequence of oils on in like under 8 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. If you're moving from good to better, you did 10 minutes and did a little extra zhuzh, but it's really about letting the oils do the herbal work and getting them on and not avoiding it because you're like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't feel like doing that. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. If you really know that it's 5 minutes, you can do it. You can do it while you're watching your favorite Netflix show even. So I've done that a lot. So does anyone have any thing they want to say? Some of the teachers from the gallery that's coming up before we go next step. Okay. So when we work with this first kit, the Healthy Start Kit, what Boyd Truman came out with is this flyer that was like, that's a kit a lot of people have. They have that introductory oil kit and they have those 10 oils. So we came up with 2 different sequences of these. And the one that we're gonna be, is this the one, which one? Oregano, digest, zen, tea tree, lemon. Yes. So this is the one that is listed in the chat today. That here's the sequence: frankincense, oregano, digest, zen, tea tree or melaleuca, lemon, Aromatouch blend, peppermint. That's the number one sequence. We'll have in the newsletter also the number two. The number two uses, the breathe instead of digest. Zen's more towards the lungs, and this is more towards digestion, right? So came up with two that people can really work with if that's the set of oils that they have. I'm going to be working with this number one set myself, and I'm going to be talking, but you can be working with whatever you have chosen to be your sequence of oils. Alrighty. Getting my oils out. And when we do a self-treatment, so when you do a treatment on someone else, they'll be lying down. So if you have a massage table, great. That's our favorite place to do it. If you don't, the second favorite place is on your bed. So if your bed, the head of your bed is up against the wall and it's coming out, I like to have my head and chin just right off the feet end of the bed on one corner, so that the person who is going to apply onto the spine is off the bed, but it's right there. And they can just work it quickly on the bed. And the other person's lying down and they have their chin just gently falling off the edge of the bed. You can use a pillow to prop up your chest to give you a little bit more alleviation with your chest, especially if you have breasts. That can be nice as well, or if you have difficulty breathing. And think about it's only going to be about 10 minutes. So that's a really good spot. You can be on the floor, on a mat, with pillows underneath your chest as well. For us, we're going to be doing it on ourselves. So when I do the self symphony, I like to think, okay, when you do it on the back and on the spine, you're just going to be, I'm going to go into the hand movements a little bit more as we're doing it ourselves. You're going to be applying on the spine. And extra is if you want to put it on the feet and you want to come under and bring your hand for a person to smell. If you forget that in between one step, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You just kind of like focus on the back, rub your hands off, get a little bit of the extra off on the feet, and let the person smell. That's the basic thing you're going to do as you apply each of these oils to someone else. Now, as we're applying them to ourselves, we're going to be applying them to the bottoms of our feet. And depending on your flexibility, I want everyone to take one hand back and bring it to the back of their neck area. Yeah, here. And whatever's comfortable there in the back of your neck, that's the one area. And then you take the other hand and you're going to bring it down and rub it right here in your low back. And I'll rub an opposite. No, I'm saying, but that's good. Right? So that's pretty, I kind of say, if you're thinking about the spine, the whole spine is when someone else gives you a treatment, you're covering almost more than half. I would say, are you covering like 3/4 of the real estate of your spine? Yeah, you're getting a lot. You're getting this plexus here, all in your neck, and down here in your low spine, all the way to your sacrum, right? So you can do that yourself. So how we're going to do it is we're going to work. I got some flexibility with my feet. You don't have to bring them up this high. I just want everyone to see. Here's my toes. So when we apply, we're going to be applying and rubbing our feet. And then that's good. If you know any extra little points that you like to like noodle and do around with and give yourself any extra little self massage, that goes into better best, right? But it doesn't have to happen. So I like to do one foot and then the other. And then I'm going to so we're going to do it together, apply, and then I'll go to the neck and the low back. And sometimes I'll do that. Like it's good for your brain because you're going in different directions. And right. We always know that's good for our brain. So here's the one thing I forgot. If you have long hair, you're going to want to put it up. It's a lot easier to have your hair up when you're working with your neck, right? But it's no biggie. I'm just going to hold it up and go like this, and then I'll do my low back. So that's pretty easy too. All right. Any questions? Are people answering things? Do we have any questions as we go along? Okay. Nope. Great. Let's continue. So everyone start with their first oil. So in this treatment, you have the first oil is almost always frankincense. Frankincense is a beautiful clearing oil. It just helps to set the tone, clear energetic stuff, clear the field, and we love it. I like to think if I don't have a lot of frankincense and I'm feeling a little judicious with my Frankie, um, sometimes I won't use as much on my feet and I'll focus more on the back and the neck. So here I'm going to go through the little tips. The other thing you want to think about when you're doing on someone else or yourself is sensitivity with hot oils. Because one of the next oils coming up pretty soon is oregano. So I'm going to talk about that. I guess I'll do it as we get there. But frankincense, totally lovely and fine. I first like to smell it. And then I'm going to do 1-2 drops. And I'm going to rub them in my hands. And I'm going to rub it just quickly on the bottom of each foot. And then I like to get one more drop, rub my hands together. And now first I'm going to rub all the way. Oh, that feels so good. Can you guys feel that? How your nervous system just loves. You put that frankincense on, it's sucking it in. Now my hand, I'm kind of keeping it here, want to hold it in, let it absorb. Now I'm bringing my hand to my low back and I'm just rubbing around up my spine as much as I can in a comfortable way and rubbing my low back. And that's it. That's frankincense. So if I'm doing a sequence and I know there's not any really hot oils and I am an advanced long-term user of oils, I know how my body responds. Sometimes I won't do a carrier oil on my feet. Your feet have a very high tolerance, most people's feet, for hot oils. So I know that my feet can handle oregano with no carrier oil. You do not want to be putting oregano on your spine or anywhere on the back of the neck at all without a carrier oil. So in this one, where it says coconut oil and then going on to oregano, what I wanted to show everyone before we go on is doTERRA has 3 different carrier oils. They have their traditional coconut oil, which is great. Then they have the body carrier oil blend, which is has a blend of a few different oils. It's really neat to go look up the different oils that are in each of them and make some decisions. And then there's this sensitive skin blend. I really love these. So I'm going to use my sensitive skin carrier oil blend and just do a couple drops in the palm of my hand. And now I'm going to apply this, so you can do it to your feet also. I'm going to really apply it just on my spine area. Everywhere I know I'm going to be applying, and then a little bit back here, back of my neck. I'm going to be very judicious with the oregano in the back of my neck. And I don't like to get really greasy back here either, because then it greases up my hair. Other ladies have that issue, right? Who wants to like go out into the rest of the day with your hair getting all greasy? So these are the last things that kind of come across my mind. So I did that. And now I have my big bottle of oregano. I'm going to start in on my feet. And I have about 3 drops here. You might want to start with 1 or 2. I'm rubbing it together, and now I'm doing it just the bottoms of the feet. I'm taking some time to rub it in. Oregano is a workhorse, and I personally realize like I don't work with it enough because it is hot. You get a little freaked out about the heat. I find it feels really nice with the carrier oil. If I know that I've really put that on in the back of my neck. And now see, I went from my feet to my low back to my neck, and I didn't reapply actually for my neck. I don't want too much oregano intensity there, but I want the medicinal effect. So there's still some oregano going on. And the first time you do it, you'll see It actually will have a heating sensation like peppermint in a sense, though. Opposite, like that's a cooling sensation, but the tingling and the working, it's really great for muscles. It's just absorbing in on the feet. All right. So the next one is Digest Zen. And so now, once you kind of get past that initial start, my kit is, you start flowing. I mean, I get these done when I have my oils out really darn quick. And so we get our bottle for our Digest Zen, and I'm going to do about 5 drops in my hand for Digest Zen because I love that puppy. Rub it together. I'm rubbing each foot. And now my low back, really getting it in. I like to sometimes come around the front, my hips, and I'm getting my low, you guys can't really see my low back and the hips, really kind of getting a good massage. And I really feel like I could do another drop, refresh for my neck. And my neck area. It's good. Does everyone know 2 points on the feet? So right in, Mika could be right in, am I right here? Right about here is kidney 1 on the bottom of the foot. And that's basically, if you're just rubbing the bottom of your foot, you're really getting some good action in there. But then on the top, can I get this, of the toe, in between the second toe, I have these kind of weird finger toes, and the big toe, right? You go down a little bit into a little groove right in there, right? Of that in between the two is liver 3. You want to just kind of, ooh, this is extra, but it's fun extra. I like to come over, and the big toe represents the brain. Always want to give that some love, give that some attention. So what's our next one? Melaleuca. Oh, Melaleuca. You know, Melaleuca's amazing. doterra's Melaleuca. Other Melaleucas are pretty awful, actually, I think. They can cause a lot of havoc and like be almost as caustic as, and stuff. But this Melaleuca so mild. Do it all over the whole foot. Get it in. No problem with putting it in the neck area. It's gentle, soothing. So I did about 3 drops. Your feet, you might notice, is kind of going now. You had that carrier oil. I did 3 drops on the feet, and I'm going for another 3 for my low back and my neck, because that just feels great. And I don't use that oil much like this. I mean, so great to get back to these sequences that are very medicinal. They're not as like, feminine smelling, or sometimes I get less away from remembering these workhorse oils. So the next one is lemon. Really nice to get that everywhere. You wouldn't want to do this if you have a lot of sun, and just be careful with like the neck area or anywhere that could be getting sun. The whatever, it's not toxicity of it, but it can turn your brown spots. So that's it. You just have to do it at night, or just make sure that you're not going to be in intense sun, like where you're applying it topically. And that goes for most of the citruses except for green mandarin, and I believe they're lime and green mandarin. Do not have the fumocoumarins, are the things that are in the citrus oils that will cause the pigmentation in our skin with the sun exposure. Okay, so that was lemon. Ooh, now we go on do people feel, we haven't done a mint. We haven't done like, this is deep blue now, the protective blend. We haven't done that, but I feel like the oregano coming together with the Digest Zen that has a little peppermint in it. Is it feeling good? Are people feeling this? They might be doing other things. But even before putting on the next two, it's deep blue and peppermint. I'm already tingling. I'm already feeling great. I worked out this morning and my hips are in a pretty intense, my knee has issues and it's hurting and my hips are hurting. And this feels so good in my body. I have to say, like, I I have the oils and I have pain blends that I have made up and I put them on before and after my workout. And this feels better. And that's some of the magic of doing this, because you're getting when you're doing the feet, you're getting the whole body. It's absorbing and able to go everywhere in the body. And then we're getting this whole low back area and the spine. And then we're getting the neck area, which is really a lot more helping with the sympathetic nervous system and the brain and that to regulate. And so you're covering a lot of bases by doing this. Okay. And then the last one is peppermint on top of the deep blue. Ah, I'm inspired to do this every day. I love doing it because you find it. I have my things that I've been using, make some little plain roller bottles, and I just put those on. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. The difference. You can make a symphony sequence and put it in one, like blend it all together and put it in one roller bottle, and then be like, I'm doing it. And that's good. Better best is doing the sequence. When we are applying the oils singly, they're entering our cells and absorbing in, and we're getting that chemistry in its original state. When you blend oils together in a blend, their chemistry changes immediately in that bottle and in that blend. And so you're just getting something different, and it's not quite as powerful as leading up through a sequence and having those oils come in and absorb into the cells, and then the next one, and then the next one, and doing it in this way. So if you're not going to do it, then do a blend in the bottle, right? That's better than not doing it. But if you can take the time and work with that, that is definitely, symphonies, some of the time it really makes a difference. So I just finished with peppermint and I am done. I know some people have longer sequences. That was only with the coconut oil or the carrier oil, that was 7 oils. A lot of the symphonies are more like 9. So you can keep applying as we kind of talk into more. Great, we have a lot of time to talk. Dr. Mika, do you have anything you wanted to share? Did anyone have any questions as we were applying them? How does this, people want to come on, how's it feeling? Does it feel awkward with the self-application? Do you kind of getting into doing it with the feet, low back, neck? What's going on for people?
Well, Josie, it was a Dr. Josie, such a great explanation. And can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And I love how good, better, best.
Yeah.
So good. And and Aisha knows, and and my patients know, and my team knows, I'm such a fan of the Symphony of the Cells, or just layering in general on the bottom of your feet. You can get so much effect and support with your body when you put the layers on. And like you said, you can best is to layer on the bottom of your feet if you don't have another person. And I tell my people, my patients, you know what, you don't have, it's great if you can do it all gently and nicely and take some time, but I say when you're sick, just slap them on the bottom of your feet. Or in the morning, I just literally, it's one after the other, after the other, after the other. I like the layering, and it's like a minute, you guys. It's really just a minute.
It's so quick. Yeah.
It's so quick. And then
I
the
think
other
that's the
thing
big
I
take
want to
home,
say,
right?
pardon?
I think that's the big take home, is this distinguishing between like, I'm going to do a lovely treatment on someone
Mm-hmm.
and like make it into a little bit more of a thing, or even on myself, versus like seeing that this is a daily practice
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be fancy. You are still doing
Right.
self-care, but you're
So,
going quickly and you're just getting the oils on.
right. And I think it's really important to note that the symphony of the cells, or any of the layering with the other kits, it's, you fold that into your day, it's really supportive of your health and well-being. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the other thing I want to say is that either now or later, I made a symphony of the cell kit, and
Yes.
I
Show
have
us. I'm going to
all
go
the
get mine.
different
They're in the other
symphony of the
room.
cells in this kit in order. So I just did, for me, I did neurological today, but I have neurological, I have hormone, I have respiratory, and I have infectious disease.
Yep.
And some extras. But I think that this is my to-go kit. So
Yep.
when you really get into, yeah, thank you. When you get into the symphony of the cells or any layering, this has been, I was going to say godsend, but this really has been for emergencies. So we can get more into that now or later.
Well,
But
let's
we'll let
talk.
other
So
people
the importance, I'll go
share.
show mine. I have that bag too. I have a smaller one that does a row of 4 rows of 8. I love
Yeah.
that one. We have little ones that do 4x4. So you can have different size bags and pouches, whatever, for carrying them. But the important thing is actually knowing some of the sequences that you want to be, will use in different emergency situations, or ones that you're using in for a chronic condition and kind of over time, and having them already in the sequence. Because when you don't feel well, if you're coming down with something, if it's everyday chronic, you don't want to sit there and find your oils and then put them in a row and all this. You want to have it already in the row with the tops with the sticker on it, and you just pull off those tops and done, right? Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Right, Mika? Yeah, you're like, yeah.
So I recommend to my patients to buy this kit, or just lay them out. This is something I shopped for online for like months until I found the right one.
I'm gonna go get
And why? Because when I was living in Portland, I did home visits too. So I had a strap. They're sick. I'd put it around my body and I'd go and treat the person. Get out of the car and have it all ready. Do on the bottom of their feet, or if they could lay on their belly, I'd do their belly. But so if you really want to get into it, this is what I use. And then I have it right by my bed, so I can just pull it up, and then how I'm feeling, it's either hormone, neurological, respiratory, infectious disease. Those are my go-tos.
And she can say this, but hormone, for any lady going through the change for the 15 years of the change, that is going to support you incredibly. Infectious disease is when you're coming down with anything. Anyone's coming down with anything. And then respiratory, supporting that as well. And lungs, if you've been having any of the, like COVID, any of the things, it's like lung support is great. And then neurological is really, for most of us, it's one of those ones that helps with your brain health over time, neurological issues, but that really connects with your brain very much. And so that's one of those generalized support things as we age that is very important. So those, right? That's pretty much the take home about your top 4, right?
Yeah. And then, I just want to say here too, if you're in an acute
Yes.
situation, it's not just one and done. So I have I recommend that if you're in acute respiratory distress or you have the height of infection, or it's infection and it's affecting your lungs, then I have them you do infectious disease followed by respiratory, for example, and then 2 hours later, you do the exact same thing,
Yeah.
infectious disease and then respiratory, and 2 hours later, infectious disease, respiratory. So in an acute situation, that's how you want to do it and use it to really get the best and ultimate support for your body when you're at the height of illness, like serious illness.
Yeah. Great. I was going to show people. So that was your bag. Here's my bag that I got for, I think it was on sale from Aromatouch. I got like 10 of them. They were like $3. And so what I love is they're just padded, but it's 4 rows of 8. And I started taking this in my sauna. And so it's gotten a little funky because I love to do the symphony in the sauna, symphony of the sauna. And so I have my different symphonies, my 4 top ones, and I rotate them out. Here's my little gua sha thing for my legs and my back. And I apply them on the bottoms of my feet. I'll do it on my knee, which is my area of concern, and my low back and hips, and a little bit of, I'm very careful in the sauna about what I put on my neck area, but I do it in the first round while I'm heating up. And then I go cold plunge and I come back in the sauna, and then I go cold plunge again. I usually do 2 rounds. But that has been an incredible way to do the symphonies and layer it on, and I absolutely love it. And then you can see what the bag's supposed to look like. It's a little cleaner. Here's my second one. I started, getting some roller bottles and ones that I've been using now upstairs. So that's what it looks like when you're really, this is like part of your wellness care in your life, in your lifestyle. Yeah. Michelle says she has some of the bags. Oh, the big ones. Yes. You guys, you have like 8 rows or 8 or 9 rows. Yeah. But these other ones, not very expensive, especially when they go on sale. It doesn't have to be fancy.
Yeah. So let's answer this.
Yeah.
She just said, when is an acute? Could you read that question?
Yeah. When you have an acute situation for a child, how often would you apply a symphony?
Yeah. So what age are you talking about? Baby, 2, 3, 4, 4 years old. So in that case, I use a carrier oil, but I still would do it every 2 to 3 hours. That's what I did with my daughter. What is the so is that clear? Just use a carrier oil, but you should still do it every 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. If you can, because you're a tired mama. So if you don't get it at 2 hours, go ahead and move it to 3. It's okay. What was the other question?
Someone's asking, I can show the brochure again. Is there a 5th one? So you said your go-tos are hormone, neurological, infectious disease, and respiratory. I mean, you do a lot. Those are just your kind of.
Yeah, those are my just go-to, but I do a lot of
standards.
other oils during the day. But yeah.
And you do a lot of other, there's so many neat, wonderful symphonies that are, chi, digestive, amoebic, the cellular, maxim. So we've done different calls. So let's go into that. So for Lena, I mentioned this book. So this is the book. You can buy it on aromatools.com or on Boyd Truman's site, which is True Wellness, TRU, no E, wellness.com. And it's bigger now because he has a lot more. He keeps adding them. And they're just the different sequences. And there's a nice little introductory. I want everyone to know that we have a great Symphony of the Cells page on our Visionary Leaders website. So on hellovisionary.com, you go down and under oil education, I think is the, it's the, whatever, it's oil wellness or oil educate oils, oil education tab. Go down and look. And there's like my whole page on the LLV and nutrition. There's all this great information there, but there's a whole one on safety of the cells. And we've used this during the last many years with our cleanses. So when you're doing a cleanse, that you definitely want to incorporate this, and all of the stuff is there written as if it is working with the cleanse. And we recommend the lymphatic, the solar, and the digestive, and we have them listed there so people don't even have to buy these. And you can use it as an adjunct if you're doing a cleanse or if you're working with anyone and helping them do a cleanse. And so that's great. And we have videos. So there's a 20-minute video of kind of like this, but an introduction to the whole, like, why would you want to do this? And then there's a video of us, Tracy and Louise and I got together, and we of applying the oils and what that looks like, and how you want to. So it's nice to get a visual of what it would look like someone's never done that. We do it on a chair and seen some leaning up, and so how you can do it just on a chair. And then I do a little one on self symphony. So we have four little videos on there. It's great. And then a lot of extra additional information. So great resource to use. When you're applying them on somebody else, the basics is you want to drop the oils starting with right above the buttocks area in the spine, and you think about 3 drops for a small person, 5 drops for a larger person. So somewhere between there. If a very sensitive person, very young person, an old person, you want to go down to 1 to 2 drops. You're always going to work with carrier oil, and you usually do that after you apply the frankincense. Dr. Louise Rose has a great little hack where she creates a bottle of carrier oil with frankincense in it. And so she gets that whole thing done. Like, she starts with just squirting on the carrier oil that has frankincense in it. How great is that? So that's just done, one and done. So you apply that on the back, and then you do about 3 to 4 drops up the spine, from the sacral area up towards the spine. You just always want to be aware when you're dropping oils on the spine that these creases in the neck, for people, if they have more skin and skin folds, that's where an oil like cinnamon, On Guard, oregano, are gonna be, and thyme. Those are pretty much the ones those are gonna be very, those are hot, or Melissa, very sensitizing. You know what? You don't really want to do them any drops. You don't want to drop the oil and have a large amount like above the shoulders, right? So you keep it below. You can rub your hands with them on them up, but not like a lot of oil there, because it'll burn a little bit in the folds of the skin. That's it. It's not like a big deal. These are just these little extras. So you're dropping it up, and then you're just going to use motions up the spine, the spine area, the back, a little bit for the neck. Then you come down a little gentle, 1 2 on the feet, and then let them smell that oil. And then you go on to the next oil. That's pretty much the way you apply the oils. If you want to do extra, you can do extra. But my partner, when he applies them, I don't even get this like gentle flow up the spine. I kind of get like a slappy thing. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm getting them on. It's okay. So, your 4-year-old, a 4-year-old can do this. Pretty much, I would say that's probably about the age where you could teach them, and you do it on them, and then you have them do it on you. And maybe you use the roller bottles first, right? Because the roller bottles could be an easier way to where they're just kind of rolling it kind of on your back and on your spine, and then doing a little bit of rub in, and then the next one and rolling it.
So, Dr. Josie, you know how
Yeah.
you mentioned about Dr. Louise doing the spray bottle with frankincense, because
Yes.
most of the cells start with frankincense. You can also just get the frankincense touch
Oh, yeah.
and start
There you
with that.
go. That's nice. Little
So you can
hacks.
just have that, just rub it on the bottom of the feet or up the back, and carry on with your process.
Anything else? I'm looking. Rebecca's saying she's got 1 foot way more sensitive than the other. I don't know. Just a cool thing to notice, I guess. I don't We have different, we're very different on the sides of our body and different parts of our body. Um,
You know what I would recommend, Rebecca, is do it for like 40 days. Do that same protocol for 40 days and see if it balances out your left, right, front, back, your the
yeah.
sides. See if that's, because it sounds to me like you're having like there's more chi flow on one side than the other, so you might as well take care of it. You just noticed it.
Here you are. I like that. And Caroline, yeah, can you combine a symphony with a Reiki treatment? Yes, you can. So one of the things that came out with the Aromatouch was they were very, in the training of it, they were very like, don't change anything, don't add anything, don't subtract anything, like do it exactly like this. And they've kind of like, we've tried all the things and just do this. It's really great. Whereas symphony is kind of the Wild West. It's like, it's and that's something Dr. Mika can, I think, attest to. Those of us who know herbs and oils really well, we get excited. We're like, well, I want to do my own sequence. And a lot of people do. And and that's a great thing to have play with and have fun with like your own sequences, or like what you're, and so so I'm talking about two different things here. Sorry, I get excited. Can you combine a symphony with the Reiki? Yes, you could combine it with acupuncture even, right? Mika, I mean, you could do a lot where you can combine them. The point is this is not as specific. So you can bring it into a multi-layered treatment and really work with it and make it your own. What I will say is that Boyd's, and he did them with his mother, who is an incredible healer, really came up with all the original ones. Um, these are tried and true sequences. They didn't just kind of be like, I think this sounds good. And there is a lot of beauty to the synergy of them. And so those of us who know oils really well and can be making up our own, most of the time choose not to and choose to follow these sequences, I would say, because, and I think Dr. Mika you want to talk to that? You have any?
I do. I because I've trained in formulas as well. This is like a master formula makers, um, master sequence makers putting this together, and they work so well that I haven't had to veer and add something or subtract something. I have my practice skyrocketed when I started doing Symphony of the Cells with acupuncture and craniosacral therapy. And it's hard to find somebody. I've now moved. I'm living in Colorado taking care of my parents. It's so hard to find somebody in Portland who's willing to actually put oils on a body and do a little acupuncture, or oils on the body, Symphony of the Cells, and craniosacral therapy. Patients are asking me all the time, is there somebody that will do that in Portland? And I haven't found somebody yet. So I want you to know people are wanting that and needing it, and they need the touch. We've been touch deprived, and they'll feel so good with the oils, and it takes no time at all. That's why I could do the Symphony of the Cells, acupuncture, and some cranial, because I'm very functional. I'm like, get these things on, let's have them work, let's go. And at some point, maybe in another class, we can talk about all the things I've seen in the clinic, how I've used the Symphony of the Cells to get people out of really big, serious pickles, disease pickles. I'll just call them that.
I like that. Disease pickles.
That's so compliant.
Yeah.
The best compliance I've heard, disease pickles. Well, ladies, we're almost at the top of the hour. So I think that we addressed all the questions. Well, first of all, I smell so good. I did the layering of the Aromatouch oils, and ooh, it just smells so delicious. Secondly, I really want to stress and make the call to action to all of you to not make this complicated, to not overthink it, and to get your little oil bag. If you don't have a little oil bag, get a plate or a little box, it does not matter, and line your oils up by your bedside table or by your couch. And if you have them there, then you're going to be way more likely to put them on in the morning and the evening. If you have them up in another room and they're not in order, you're never going to do it. But make this part of your daily self-care routine. There was that mention to Rebecca to try it on her feet for 40 days. I would invite all of us to try it for 40 days. And you can pick one of the symphonies, the Aromatouch oils, whatever is really calling to your heart. And I really suggest you trust your intuition. Your intuition knows exactly what you need when you take a few moments to get silent and quiet and just simply listen. So if you're not sure, like, should I do this symphony or this symphony? Just, ask yourself and see which one really comes through. Really, these oils are magic, and where you're going to see the benefit from them is when you use them on a regular basis. So thank you both so much for imparting all of your wisdom. And the other thing that is, we are so lucky because we have practicing doctors using this in their practice, right? So Dr. Mika, it's so valuable, all of your insights that you have to share because you are using this in your practice. And putting that call out, it's true. If you are a practitioner, this is something you can bring into your practice to really up level what you have to offer. And it's so easy. That was actually my first introduction to essential oils was from my acupuncturist many, many years ago. She did doTERRA wasn't even here yet. She did another oil treatment on me that left me smelling like a spicy pizza, actually. And I love the scent of the Aromatouch treatment so much more. So next week, do not miss next week. We have a special guest joining us with Asha McLaughlin, and the title of our call is The Energy Joy, the Stress Fix: How to Blend Techniques with Essential Wellness Protocols for Living a Grounded, Calm, happy life, with special guest Robert Simon Siegel. He is the author of a book, a psychotherapist, and is going to give us his insights about how to bring more joy into our lives and to manage all of the stress that so many of us have endured. So thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you have a lovely day, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Josie.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Everyone, I don't know, we could do I just want to say there's some stuff in the chat. People are asking about conditions and things, and Boyd Truman does in the booklet address that and talk about possible conditions. And he has a little flyer that you can buy. It's not very expensive. It's like a folder that helps you think about organ systems and disease issues and how you would do them. So he does address that in some of his materials with Symphony of the Cells. Is for lay people, for regular householders who are kind of like, well, I have this, what symphony would I use? It's not obvious to me. Part of his materials helps you work with that.
Oh, and Rebecca just reminded us, thank you, Rebecca, there is a great app for the Symphony of the Cells as well. So that is another wonderful tool.
Great. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.